Welcome back for another Jazwares 4-inch Fortnite action figure review. The first thing I want to do is send a huge shout out to Jazwares. They actually sent me this figure, so I want to make it really clear this figure is not available on store shelves yet. I did not find him out there in the wild. They sent this to me. I don't honestly know why, except for maybe because I've done a lot of Fortnite action figure reviews. So we'll discuss in another video why this figure isn't out on the shelves and why he's been very difficult, because we've known about this figure for about, I'd say, 8 months, maybe 8 to 12 months now, but he hasn't been findable. I'm going to quickly show you on both sides of the screen, the front and back of the package, so you can see what he looks like in the box and what the cross sale looks like. Then we're now going to take a more direct look at this figure and accessory. He comes with the lamp harvesting tool, and I think this looks pretty good. It's all painted in the silver, a shiny silver there, and I like this. I like this a lot. There's like a light bulb here at the top. If only this could somehow glow, light up and glow. I think that would just be awesome. So the figure looks like a very militaristic commando moth. It's like, this guy is crazy looking. Look at his antennae up here. I'd say this is the most fragile, weak part of this action figure. See how easy they are to bend back and forth? You push back or shove this up against something, I think you're going to damage these things. So this is a figure you're going to want to watch out for up there. I'm not about to yank these to see how easily they are to come out, but I think they might pop out pretty easily. Another thing about the articulation is you'd think there might be a hindrance here at the shoulders. When you raise his arms, you've got these armor shoulder bicep plates here, but when you bend them up, the arms up, you lift the arms up, then they bend. They're pretty soft rubber. I wouldn't go much higher than this T-pose, but you can at least go up that high. There's full range of motion rotating around. Now the waist has an interesting thing here. It has like a big green belt around the middle of the waist, so he has this torso rocker, so like he can go back that far, he can go forward like that far, but there is a little bit of hindrance. You can't really rotate the waist either down here where you usually can, so you can move him around a little bit, but he's pretty hindered right there in the torso waist area. I don't know, does this awesome sculpt make up for that? Typically, I would say no, because I don't like sacrificing articulation for something that looks really awesome, because I like to do things. I like to pose these figures. I like to move them around, and yes, I do like to play with them sometimes. And when I can't, or if I sit here like, that's cool, that kind of takes that joy out of it for me. But I'm gonna say he does look awesome. Look at these eyes. They are speckled. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here or bring him closer and adjust my lighting so you can see these crazy eyes. There you go. Look at those crazy eyes right there. They're just they're bumpy. They look insecty. And then he's got his bug-eating nose or mouth, or I'm not familiar with a moth anatomy, so you got this part right there. So while we're here, let me show you this. The head can move about that far to the right, or the left, and then about that far to the right. So you can move his head back and forth. I wouldn't grab the antennae. You can lift up about that far. And yeah, let's just get back here to where we were, shall we? Anyway, so the head's pretty cool. He's got the standard articulation. He can sit down, so you could put him in a vehicle, maybe. If you want him to do the splits, that hurts. He can only go that far the splits, and that's because they've done a thigh cut that's a bit of a diagonal here. So if you want to rotate, and actually I'm not sure if the thigh cut's a diagonal exactly. It may be straight across. It just may be this upper leg is at a diagonal. But when you go to rotate, this upper leg runs into it. So if you want to rotate the leg all the way around, you're gonna have to do something like that. This is kind of weird, but whatever. He's got double pin at the knee, a single hinge and rotation at the elbow, single hinge and rotation at the wrist, single hinge and rotation at the ankle. And I'm going to point something out to you. I don't know how well you can see it, but be warned, I'm bringing out a knife. And maybe I'll see if I can bring this figure closer again here. So sometimes with suited figures, there's a ball joint that connects into the lower leg as well as connects into the ankle. In this case, they built the ankle ball joint onto the lower leg. And so you only have this pin going into the ankle, so it creates a pivot. Wish I wasn't blocking my light so well. A pivot and a hinge. So there's no like separate ball joint like the suited figures, say Inferno or Wildcard has, which I like because then those, when they've got the ball joints plugged into the lower legs and plugged into the ankles, when they get off, like get rotated in a weird way, it gets difficult to hinge or bend the legs or the feet back and forth for an appropriate. It doesn't look funny. If you want him to lean forward, he can lean forward about that far. And his feet, they feel tight. I don't want to break them. We straighten him up, he can go back about that far. So it's a pretty cool figure. I like this figure. I'm disappointed that the distribution has been so very poor because I want everyone to get this figure. Actually, I want everyone to get every figure they want because I'm in the same boat. I want to get every figure that they release, and I can't do that very easily. I'm way behind. Well, I shouldn't say I'm way behind. There's a lot of figures in China that it's just difficult to get, and it's really difficult for you guys to get. And I'd like for everything to be on store shelves. I will talk about this in another video, like I said before. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, check out my recent review of the unreleased Bao Bros action figures over on the right.